Hello traders, and welcome to this new Bitcoin technical and order flow analysis video. We are in the middle of the summer. Bitcoin is trying to push to the range highs, possibly all-time highs. So I've decided to do another video. We can go over macro. I will give it first few minutes of the video, then we will move on seasonality and then on technical analysis and order flow together, so you can see what scenarios you can expect from here right now. Okay, by the way, most of the traders are on holiday, so Bitcoin is choppy. Overall volumes in a world are very low, so you can take less time on charts and you can have more alerts. That's what I advise you. I would like to also announce I'm pretty close to finishing swing trading course. Our traders know what does it what's the purpose of it. Especially it's good for people who don't have time to watch charts every day. And also, along with swing course, I replaced all TRDR videos. Currently, TRDR videos are the best educational videos on the planet. I don't know anyone else who comes even close in providing such backtesting data and the results for high winning strategies. So yeah, this is done. All our traders are now going over it. You can pause the video and read the announcement. And at the end of the week, I will be releasing second part of the swing course, which is going to be focused on technical analysis, options, order flow, seasonality, all things together. So if you don't have time for day trades, scalps, you definitely need to swing trade Bitcoin, and you need to be ready because swing trading doesn't need leverage as well. So you should be ready when to buy Bitcoin into the hodl. And of course, when you buy Bitcoin, you are buying altcoins if you want as well, because again, Bitcoin is prime moving asset. Yeah, if Bitcoin moves, altcoins follow. We can see that on Bitcoin dominance as well is still very, very strong. Okay, so let's start with the video. With the macro analysis. So I have a few words about macro analysis. Let me go into the investing Discord. I was writing about it more. So yesterday we've seen first cracks in the US jobs market. Today is very strong data point where we will see how is market doing in the US. If we see substantial losses in the jobs market in the US, I think it's gonna be pretty bearish for the equities, and Bitcoin can also react to the downside. If we see good numbers or just neutral, I think we can continue our move to the upside on Bitcoin and also on the equities. The last thing market wants to see is stagflation, where you have high inflation, the economy is slowing down, and you start to lose jobs. And do you know why you lose the jobs? Well, AI. The AI could be reason, and this is really, there is one black scenario because the world currently is on the crossroads. We have multiple scenarios which can happen. The more black scenario, black swan event scenario for the world is the AI is going to increase productivity immensely for the companies. They will be making much better margins, but it's going to lead to unemployment, And this is also like first signs. Yeah, Microsoft, they laid off force last month, and now another big laying of the workers. Yes, so you see AI is really beneficial, but is also making a lot of jobs obsolete, and this can be problematic. If AI is gonna make the economy efficient, but you will have unemployment increasing substantially. And yeah, this can cause serious disruptions. This can cause actually the circle where you have a higher inflation, you have higher unemployment. These people who lost the jobs, of course, they will not be, putting new money into the system, so you will have less spending, and it's like circle, yeah. And then Fed steps in, they start to print money, they will lower interest rates. You know the story, it's like recession, yeah. So this is one scenario which world can get. So I'm carefully watching because I'm not just trading Bitcoin only. I'm watching economy. I'm watching all the data points. I'm watching central bank decisions, global liquidity. Everything is affecting crypto. Crypto is not trading on its own for a long, long time. These times are over. They ended in 2021 when we started to be, the template. You know why we have this template. Bitcoin and crypto is fully connected to the equities and what they are doing, and to the all these aspects I was mentioning. So yeah. So yeah, today watch the data point can be pretty important in terms of that. And now we can move to other things. So we start a new quarter. If I zoom out, I just want to remind you the last quarters, last few quarters when institutional money were trading Bitcoin more were pretty choppy. We can go to seasonality. I think I was showing you that already in the previous video, but let's remind you. By the way, we ended June at 2.3%. Nothing to write stories about, but yeah, at least it was positive. Again, July tends to be positive, most of the time, like on median, but in in bear markets, there tends to be much stronger bounces in July, while in in bull markets, you tend to have neutral or mildly positive month. Yeah, look at again, bull market was here, so you've got positive, but these were also very volatile times for Bitcoin. So, like first 5 years are more important for me. It was pretty positive, but again, it was big like initial stages of the bull market, and it is also pretty good. Okay, so seasonality, and by the way, this quarter is the most important quarter for you to position yourself for the last quarter where we have the strongest gains. You can see last year what we were doing. Yeah, when, by the way, from ETFs, this was the ETF start here. For me, this is new era. Like everything, absolutely everything changed for Bitcoin from this point. Like cycle broke because we made all-time highs before halving. So everything broke from this because new money started trading Bitcoin. New market participants can enter in the US and they have no problem. There is good regulation. You have a lot of option market is huge. So you have a lot of hot money exchanging positions in between each other. So this is new era for Bitcoin, and I'm especially watching what we did in since this point. And we can see in quarter 3 last year, we first pushed to the upside, yes, in July, and then we lost all the gains in the August. So in July we might get the same thing. We might push first to the upside, and then August we might lose the gains. But again, these predictions I don't like to do because currently I don't want to say the world is unpredictable. Long-term Bitcoin is going up. That's one certainty we can have, yeah. But another problem is Trump and administrative from Trump. We don't know what we can expect from them. They can surprise market anytime. We can have trade wars. We can have hot wars. We can have other problems. So unpredictable market, and that's the reason why. That's another post from this is going to be last post for the macro. And these are, by the way, huge changes. Look at that, yeah. US net international investments from position narrowed slightly in the first quarter. In the first quarter to 24.61 trillion compared to 26.54 trillion in the fourth quarter. So you can see after Trump got into the office, just in 2 quarters, US lost over 2 trillion of the assets from the outside of the US, international investments. So there is lots of rebalancing in the world, yeah. Like some people were definitely very heavy in the US US portfolios. Now they are rebalancing, and this is why the interest rates are so high and why dollar is actually weakening so much. Yeah, we know dollar, look at that. So dollar is lost 15% already. And they are estimating we would need to see loss of 30 to 35% on the dollar. I don't think we will see so much, maybe another 10%. That's pretty crazy number here. But yeah, and while I'm mentioning that, so dollar lost 15%. So anything denominated, Bitcoin included, in dollars is now supported by this. So equities, let me show you equities. Yeah, they are pulling up Bitcoin. Yeah, 1 hour time frame. Look at the bounce. Here's one, massive bounce there since the tariff stabilized, since we got the Trump pivot. We continue pushing to the upside. Bitcoin, same journey to the upside. When I go to the correlation chart, yes, Bitcoin is just following equities, of course. And the reason like why this is so much easier, because dollar is appreciating, so your portfolio is actually going sideways. You are not making as much money compared to strong dollar. Yeah, so that's the thing, and this is also helping. This is helping to underpin Bitcoin equities and everything. When dollar is getting weaker and weaker, you just go up on the rebalancing and on inflation. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. Okay, let's have a look now Bitcoin from technical side and then order flow. So we have few interesting things to talk about. So you see Bitcoin, let me show you. There was very clear bias in the group. Once we arrived into this region, I told our group, I'm pretty much certain we will go into the range for the next few days. So what I did, I was just shorting. From this point, I shorted like 7 or 8 times. Yeah, every time we went back to the highs, short. I made like 7 to 8% on the short. In total, I was counting it together. So you see, sometimes we have such a big volatility. You remember during Israel Iran, we had volatility like I could make 2-3% in one trade. Now I made 8% for the whole week. So you see how a big difference now after we have no market moving news. Yeah. So market started pushing from the support. By the way, it front run because we were expecting, Bram was also outlining it yesterday, he expected swing failure pattern from this low, very nice leak into the inefficiency and then bounce, but we front run it, so people got front run. It is what it is, you know. I'm still working on swing core, so I'm trading very limited. I went to sleep over here and then it be pushed higher. I was also in short. I still had like 50% short left. I was taking profit on the way to the downside. People know I took like 2 profits, and then I was stopped out after this high. Okay, I had high tighter stop loss because, you know, I read rev alerts currently and reposition. So I was stopped out on short and currently I have no position. I will be monitoring market. I don't want to rush anything because again, we have US jobs data news event which can move market significantly. So I will be entering in with new position when we got very serious deviation in jobs market, which is which can trigger market repricing, immediate repricing. It's gonna be harder longing, yeah, because we already at all-time high, so close to all-time highs. But I want to look for short if there will be big cracks in the jobs market. So that's first thing which can be driving. So you need to know what is driving market. Yes. And this is going to be macro today. And now second thing from technical analysis, we are very close to, so this is what actually I think market is trying to do. By the way, you've got, so I was sleeping, but some traders took nice short. When I was sleeping from 3-day naked point of control and very close, we've got the composite naked TPOC. And from that area, of course, Bitcoin you always view as area, not as an exact level because it's so volatile. You've got 1.10% move. So I also had short opportunity from the POC when you were patient, because above these two highs there was strong walls, but when we bridged them, then you were immediately targeting this. I think what is Bitcoin trying to do, if we get neutral data or decent and equity stays supported, I think we should really fix a lot of very weak structure and highs. I have nice trade area here waiting as well. You can see when I zoom in, we did high here, yes, but we never took this high here. So you have now medium swing failure pattern equal high. So these two highs needs to be fixed. And if we zoom out, similar fractal just on higher time frame, the high from 27th of May was never taken out from 9 of June high. So you have another equal highs. And what does it mean? If you have equal highs, it means there will be lots of liquidity hidden behind them. Lots of stop losses here, and they can actually cascade market into these highs as well. So lots of liquidity here. I can show you that liquidity right now, so you know where to watch. So let's go to Tradingdifferent. Here we are. So you see first stop of the market, like when you were rejecting 3-day naked POG, was also market completed first mission, which was very tight, over leveraged. People were taken out from the 7-day range, or how long was that? 25 of June. 2nd of July, yeah, it could be 7 days. So 7-day range taken out, but very over-leveraged people. Plus, you still have this massive range, liquidity above us. So you see over here, this is going to be another area of interest. If you start going beyond 110K and 800, yeah. So, and in that liquidity, I will be monitoring markets. if it's very exhaustive, then we might get nice short. If we start going beyond the liquidity, you know what's gonna very likely happen, because we don't have much resistance. Do you see? I don't have anything on my charts, to be honest. The last thing you can do when you go beyond this liquidity I was just showing you, you can check the range here, because you will be rotating that little range here. This is like this is last range before all-time high, so it's not strong. And you know, the it took like 1 day only, so definitely not strong, but you can watch it definitely for rotation. So we do ice, and VAG is very close to all-time high. So yeah, when you come to VAG, you know, it just is very likely you create new all-time high swing failure. New all-time high. Yeah. So we will be monitoring the liquidity area, and after that we don't have much resistance, so we pretty much can expect new all-time high. There were some crazy estimates already, not crazy, but some nice estimates. Bitcoin will reach 135k in Q3. That's pretty optimistic, but we will see. And 200k by the end of the year. I'm more inclined to see Bitcoin at 150k by the end of the year if macro cooperates. Because you saw we can crash 10,000 easily on new war or something. So again, it's very macro driven. Bitcoin is super macro driven now, so it needs to align. Yeah. When we come into the all-time highs, the plan is going to be simple. You will let market grab massive liquidity, which is very spreaded. You can also use the swing template. If it's going to be breakout for the new all-time, for the new new all-time highs, but breakout, then this is the main. I think this is what market will be targeting, and this is perfect structure, by the way. Again, these highs, very close highs close together. Market build liquidity here for 6-7 weeks. That's just juicy, you know. People who shorted here will be absolutely destroyed when you move into this liquidity. So, and 115,000 is going to be like another big target. Possibly we get rejection. That's my prediction. You know, predictions are, they can fulfill or not. I'm just giving it now, but of course I will be commenting live in the group when it happens. So I tell them, right, we are getting good rejection or not. And because it's also massive option barrier, a lot of money are waiting to take profit there on option markets. So 115k big target, and then 120k. Those are also like round numbers, so psychological numbers. People will be taking some nice profit. So that's what you can expect at beyond if you do breakout into the liquidity. If we don't, well, you will be watching, of course, you can be watching the one of the easiest trades we like, it's swing value pattern. So you come here and you reject like directly, or second option, you come here, you start creating new range, and then it's gonna be, you will have plenty of time to be short and long for continuation. But if it's going to be failed auction, then you will move to the downside and you will have another short. So that's another scenario we will be watching. I just want to comment one more thing on yesterday, because this is extremely crucial from the order flow perspective. Let me show you. So this is Bybit, but I want to show you Binance. Let's go here. I want to show you what was warning you is gonna be strong breakout, and you actually had not much. Like, you've got that scalp from the 3-day naked POC. That's pretty cool, but so you see you are moving. Yes, we are zooming out now. So this is crucial high made on 30 of June, which is Monday. You are moving beyond this high, and you don't see zero signs of swing failure pattern like tide one from that high. So you move to the higher region, and you see what is happening. This is actually breakout volume. This is 1,850 million on Binance. This is breakout volume, massive open interest increase. Yes. 1.5k of new bitcoins, mostly longs, 400 million delta. That's huge. So actually this is very bullish breakout, and you are very careful to actually, even if you were taking shorts and scalp, you're very careful, you have tight stop loss, because this can actually continue. Now, if you took scalp short from 3-day naked POC, what was the next step from the market so you make much more profit? Well, it's very simple. All you needed to do is to start creating new value and trending down below this candle. Again, huge volume, almost 2 billion, 400 million delta, massive longs in this candle. what we do today? I told our traders we need to lose 108, 600, and properly, not just like this. These people who were longing here, that big breakout, they are still defending their positions. They had nice limits here. You can see already absorptions, like very strong ones. What's happening here, 29 million, 67 million delta. So these people who were doing breakout, they are clearly defending their position. So what you needed to see was to start like either abrupt move down, like more violent, so you trap them immediately and they don't know what to do, and start trending down. And then I would expect literally just on their pain you could easily move to 107k into this region, do maybe swing failure pattern, expand the range. But yeah, we didn't do that. You can also see it's the start of the new quarter. That's one of the things you need to remember about quarters. When new quarter is opening, new money are waiting on the sidelines, and we tend to see like positive moves when quarter starts. Yeah, because they close their books and they now need to make new positions. So, and that's what we saw actually. Look at that. So from this was that weekend, 1st of July. No, it was already working days. We were hitting nice profits on shorts, and then we started pushing as the quarter was developing, also on equities. And we also trade, like, look at that monthly open, reclaim. This was also bullish because the whole monthly candle is now looking green. So it's like pointing out for the all-time high for high time frame traders. And yet again, this is really power of the order flow. Some people even, they would be taking some late short. It can, by the way, still happen on the news. When you trap this breakout volume, all people who were leveraged long into these areas, they got trapped, and you will have easy extension to the downside, at least 1-to-1 on their pain. You can see that also on the open interest. Yeah, here. So it was pretty cool. Open interest was increasing from lows already, but now the major point of the open interest is happening in this line and over here, and mostly longs. There are some shorts as well, but once you trap these people, once you do this, you want to do this and then do this, and you will go much lower, and then you will see open interest drop on these people getting trapped. So we have some setup here, but you need macro to cooperate today on the news event. Or just no macro, you just need to start trading below these levels and trap these people. It's that simple. So there can be some late short as well if you don't have any position from yesterday. And the jobs data will accelerate that definitely. So let's have a look on Bitcoin from TRDR. By the way, we stopped the daily naked poke. Yeah, this was perfect continuation. This is one of the reasons why you never got into this low. You never start feeling some inefficiencies, but you literally stop at the poke. And when you are trending, that's what you are doing usually. You will either retest VAG of the previous range, or you retest poke. You don't even get to val or take the liquidity, because market don't want to harm the longs. So very cheeky front run, and some of our traders were taking long here, so good job. Alright, so that's news event. Let's have a look on TRDR, on other things as well. Tradinglite, how it's looking on Tradinglite. So this is leverage, so I'm seeing the leverage is still defending. You can see some of the walls were filled here, but some of the walls were pulled out. We need to verify. I want to see, because they were very, very cheeky. Yeah, because you see, they tried to, like, they were, like, we were shorting these many times, so there was no volume to breach. They started over here as well, so we continue to the downside. Again, move to the higher, but I want to see if these walls actually were getting filled and trapped. That's also a significant factor. So this one was filled as well, and filled as well. Yeah, so they were real. That's cool. I can tell you another reason why we are stopping here. So yes, you have breakout longs, yeah, into the highs, and they are trying to defend their position, so they don't want to let market down. But you also had, I think, I'm not sure, like, if you come to these areas, yeah, look at that. So market is trending down, yes, I'm just telling you what's most probable. So market is trending down. These sell limits are not getting filled. So in my opinion, these sell limits are, they are a big market participant who wants to fill short and he wants to save money on fees. So he's gonna do it with the passive sell walls. By the way, we were not trading below his entry. So it just can't, I don't think he's taking profit. It's just so unlikely when you see wall like this. So I think this is new position and he got trapped as a passive market seller. And there's another reason why you don't do pullback, because he is actually trying to get out. Market is assuming he's trying to get out and he's becoming order flow support. That's one of the reasons you hold this area as well. So this breakout loss got the hell of him. But next time you come to this, it's going to be easier because he had chance to escape at least. Yeah, in these sell walls. He's still a bit lower, so you'll see how we retest this. So from leverage, the leverage is still trying to defend 110k. This is very big level, but again we have these key highs above us. So I think these sell walls are trying to fill positions, and they are predicting for themselves to get. They are front running basically all these highs, and they are trying to fill positions, so they will have it before we take them. But for you, the key will be 110,000. First, these two highs, you can actually trade them standalone for swing failure pattern, and if you don't see SFP, you will go for this high to fix it. So you will then watch 110k 736, and they are spread in the region. So yeah, definitely there is still some sell interest here. Some people are betting we will get swing failure pattern, and on spot markets we don't. On Binance, this is most important for me, but we'll check aggregated data as well. 110k is still getting defended pretty substantially, I would say. We can also see as we are increasing, some people are adding some more demand walls. This is also like bullish, because when you go into the pullback, you will need to chew over all of them. Only on big change of character in equities can break all these walls here with like nice momentum. Very significant wall, yeah, still decent defense. That's I think why we actually stopped here. Just remember, when you are trading and you already get very overextended, we moved from 105k to almost 110k. So $5,000 Bitcoin move. That's pretty huge. In percentual terms, it's also not bad. 4.65%. Bitcoin on average in 65% days moves 1 to 2%. So you already got twice of the normal standard deviations, like deviation move. So people started taking profit. That's the thing, like the longer you push, the longer, the chances for the pullback increase. So that's another factor when you were shorting the 3-day naked POC. So yeah, there is still decent selling in the on the spot market from 101, from this area where we have the liquidity or we have the key high. So definitely market will try to exhaust the Bitcoin, but we will see if they succeed. Let's have a look on TRDR now, all the good templates. So you will now see all the templates I made tutorial for on TRDR. Again, in my opinion, the most powerful tool on the planet. And yeah, let's have a look. We will start with the main template. Main template. So let's see. Sell side is still trying. So you can see how we went into the neutral. So it was a balanced market pretty much, and then you started pushing to the upside. Now we still have selling pressure both on Coinbase and aggregated spot, but perpetuals are bullish, and there, let me check the other threshold. Yeah, both thresholds are pretty good. So it's showing you the leverage is trying to stabilize the market. That's crazy difference, by the way. Let me check who is actually creating that. It can't be the Binance. I don't think it's Binance. No way, because the Binance is actually heavy on the sell side. And these walls, they should be like neutral. So maybe it's a glitch. It can be sometimes the glitch where it's OKEX. Let me check. Yeah, perpetuals, those are mixed with perpetuals. Let's do like this. Okay, yeah, it will take some time. I will post it into the group, but there is heavy imbalance. On some of the exchanges. I don't see this on Binance, so there must be other exchanges which have the like huge orders on the buy side, stabilizing price in this region. So I will find out after the video. But yeah, perpetuals are trying to hold the market. Definitely not Binance, because you see, this is like heavy sell side here, and this is, I think, more even. Yeah, these walls are big, but they are not larger than this, so you cannot get that. So we will see. I will find out later on. Very nice spike, by the way, in the aggregated delta with the open interest increase. This is like critical threshold. Look at that. Yeah, sometimes you do these big thresholds and you go into the range. So it's not a surprise, based on what you saw past few days, to just see market chilling a bit. Yeah, after such threshold, you could be literally predicting you go into the range at least for 24 hours or even 2-3 days or even longer. Same thing as here, we went into the range for 1 day at least, just sideways price action, because this was already pretty bullish. And one thing you can notice, if you do imagine like fractal is gonna be happening like here. I still don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but imagine the same fractal is gonna happen like here. So you go into the range, you also go sideways. If possible, we get news events cooperating to that, and you go down. On such a big aggregated delta spikes, you see what happened in the past. This is actually huge volume for the medium time frame pullback. So you can get this, and we know there are new longs here, so you can get deeper pullback. Beautiful template, that's what it's showing us, but we need to trap those people first so you get that move. So we need to wait for that. Let's go further. Liquidations, they were going up finally, very decent liquidations already, that's good. Open interest very elevated. That's also, by the way, showing you the move was strong to the upside. Because the open interest is increasing, so new positions are coming into the market, and it's not open interest decrease, which you can fade easier, but we do late fading of the open interest increases, which means you need to trap this volume. I explained that earlier. CVD, we also had really nice spike in the spot. I can show you, by the way, this is useful template for me. So you did like, there was some nice spike in the buying on the spot market, 2.1 billion to over 100 million definitely. But you see how people were shorting here. I was shorting here as well, but you see how people got pushed out of the market. Like you return back from this point, all shorts in the delta, and you push to the upside. So heavy, like the second portion of the move was very heavy from the leverage. So leverage shorts closing, pushing market back into the highs. And you see we are not at this high, but the delta was higher, which is showing you there was nobody absorbing at the highs pretty much, because you same delta, but you went higher, not lower. Yeah, so no bearish absorptions. That's one thing you can look at it. Coinbase, Binance pushing together. I think it was pretty green ETF inflow day, so not a surprise. How long is the video? 33 minutes. I just want to make it shorter today. Up to 40 minutes. So I will just finish with the TRDR. Yeah. So yeah, spot is still on the sell side. Very similar, not as large thresholds as here, but very similar thresholds. But some of the buying activity was actually eating up these sell nodes on this spot. So yeah, it's not so big pressure as here. And the buyers on the perpetuals are trying to stabilize market, which is giving us range. Very different conditions here. They were bearish all the time until this point. Right now they are trying to buy the dip with their buy limits. And this is spot market. We can see 110k is highlighted, so this is the biggest balls, the biggest wall to the upside with 270 Bitcoin, and then we have smaller walls to the upside, many smaller walls, and we can see not much buy pressure is down to. So in case we get bad news today and market swooshes to the downside on equities as well, then you can expect you don't need much volume to actually move back to 105k. So you will be watching for 105k when we get into potential short, and for swing value pattern out of that low, and also the liquidity below these lows, and then filling the inefficiency into the spot demand. So that would be one of the scenarios. You see how you are holding them, how the Gemini exchange and Binance is holding market, at least for the local range here. Very nice. Very strong demand cluster, as I was showing you in the previous. They are trying to protect future move to the. This is, by the way, far away, like very far away. In case Bitcoin starts to be very volatile, then you know, like big supports starts to build around 100k. Again, psychological. Very good. How is funding rate? I think one of the contributing factors was it's true the leverage was far more short than like spot market was selling, but it was getting absorbed, but the leverage was shorting much like more than spot market. So move here is just rebalancing, and you see is now back to neutral. So all the shorts who are building here are fine. The only people who are not fine were if you shorted here and you expected this. No, I told our traders I'm shorting 7 or 8 times, but I was taking profits each time we rotated the rocker range. That's how I pulled 7% plus. You have to control your greed and you need to take some profits always. What market gives you take, especially during summer when it's very quiet. Swing template, still heavy sell side. Still very heavy sell side on, especially on the Coinbase and Binance. Very similar to this. You can range for a long time, but yeah, we will see how this plays out. We already ranged it for a long time, so it was helping us. Nothing specific. I want to go over this template, so we go to another template. Leverage defending, as we were talking, this is now all exchanges, so they are defending and trying to build some positions at 110k and up to 111k, where we have liquidity and a few highs to be swept, so very clear area of interest. And on the pullback, we do have support starting already at 106,340 from leverage, so you can view this as an area. Yeah. And on spot markets, aggregated, yes, we have the sell side still in these regions. It's now not showing because we are very close. This is filtering out very close orders, but they are there. We saw them in everything else. What are whales trying to do? Yes, the whales incentive are still very clear. They were holding us with hundreds of millions on the sell side in the range. Then here, like, look at those defenses. They were also trying yesterday and failed. They got filled finally, and they got trapped. Yeah. And they are still trying to do some defending here. We will see if they succeed. In the future, look at that. 115k already leverages advertising you above all-time high is gonna be a very nice fat level, and leverage also still bidding at 100 at this region. So to sum this up, so I actually went over this scenario to the upside and to the downside. If we get positive news today and Bitcoin continues pushing, I will be looking for sweeping this high and this high for potential swing value pattern into the trade area and liquidity. If we get bad news today, I will be taking short and I will be definitely riding it until we destroy open interest build-up, until we destroy this open interest build-up, and only then, like the full one, only then maybe I take some nice profit. And we cannot predict when the open interest exits, but we need to trap them properly, as I was explaining. So potentially you can be riding it into this low as well, or we stabilize here. We will see if it's going to be this low with these lows and liquidity. If it's very bad news, you might actually get even lower, but again, we will see. And tomorrow is weekend. sorry, tomorrow is the Independence Day, so very light volumes are expected in the world. I think traders will be taking a holiday. Like already we have like 50% of market participants on holidays, and now tomorrow even more people go on holiday. So expect very slow day. Maybe you should go just, you know, do chill and enjoy weekend too, because again, 3 days of the weekend during summer, that's what we want. Thank you for watching, traders. You've got a plan of action to both directions. I wish you steady hand and enjoy TRDR tutorials. And please, if you like the video, just give it thumbs up, subscribe, and join our group. Take the courses and you will be much better trader. Bye, traders.